Hello friends, very good afternoon to another Prefect 99 live stream, if indeed you are watching. First things first, apologies the other day, on Christmas Eve I did say I might fly in the evening for Hogmanay Fly-In, but that is of course tonight. So, that's the reason for this stream. We are going to be carrying out a positioning flight over to Dublin, so that later on tonight, I think the event starts at 7 o'clock until 10, might be a bit later. It's of course going to be busy, so if we do, well, when I will do that trip, Glasgow or Edinburgh I believe will be open. Edinburgh is usually the busier of the two, and we will head to one of those with a lot of holding fuel, probably early starting up. So that's the plan for later on. It says we're at Bravo 21. At least that's running. As is Volanta, and we're online. There's nothing here but Dublin has been online, Dublin Tower at least. And it's pretty grotty weather in London. It's definitely nowhere near as bright as this. There is no sun to be seen. As far as I can tell, it is raining, drizzling. It's not that great a day with relatively low cloud bases as well. One thing I have noticed is, so I did mention the other flight, I did a little bit of tidying up over there. There still might be a little bit to do. I did a little bit of tidying up at Luton, one of which was correcting the runway numbers, so shock horror there. One thing is, you can see the terminals here. This doesn't look that realistic, that join. There are ways a node in to fix that. I don't quite know what this little terminal block here is that somebody's used. I don't know what that bit's about. The air bridge isn't terrible, but I think, to be honest, might be better to see it there. Could probably do with a little bit of tidying up. It'd be interesting to see some pictures from Stansted. I would potentially get rid of these lights as well, just because I'm not quite sure that they're totally necessary. They might be realistic, but I don't know. They seem to hammer frame rates, etc. You can see that the CPU is through the roof for me. I wonder if it's scenery related to all of this. The GPU, even with the shadows and everything, really isn't working hard. So I don't know, in all honesty. Sure, I could do this, but all of this stuff is really very fiddly. So I mean, it's a good effort, but maybe some of it could do with tidying up. It seems a bit odd that you'd have that just floating in midair, but hey, what do I know? Some real world photos might make a bit of difference. Anyway, we are at 2-2 left, so that's fine. Why don't we hop in the jet and get going? Before I do anything else though, I will say thanks very much to GB Aviation and P4EE who subscribed. Thanks for joining to you too. And here you are, finding us back in DCO. So quick overhead panel scan, everything's set. I've set everything up to set there. So quick and dirty startup, no fire check, etc. Lights are on. Oh, now that's weird. That upper view has come back. I have updated Zibo today. Zibo pushed an update out yesterday before Christmas. What an absolute legend. That's aligning. Then we can come in and set normal auto. We're probably not going to have center tanks full. Check the cross feed. Why not? Open bright. Dim, close, bright, and it should go off, which it does. Pumps, cautions on. Is off. The APU is off. The wipers are parked. Got power, cabin utility on. All off. Igniters right, start switches off. Pressure 0, door pumps can come on, cautions out. Power light check. Overheat check. Voice recorders auto. Trim there on. Set the cabin as you like. Won't need the packs, but I'm going to pop them on. And even if you have conditioned air, it doesn't go through the packs. It goes straight to the mix manifold to sort the cabin out. Our cruise today is 300. APU bleeds off as well, and the elevation at Dublin 242, so 250. As I said, lights are already set. The initial upper overhead done. Departure is 4. We're not cleared. Runway heading is set. Set the nav aids for departure. A little bit later. Water brake. Lights on. Hydraulic pressure we have. Takeoff config. Check. Speed brake is up. 2000 set. Radio set as desired. Test and set the standby. That bounces around a bit more in reality. So, still no one online. Let's get the weather off VATSIM. And what does it have? It's an automatic report at 12:20, so not that old. 1105. Oh, interesting. 060. Variable month 0. It's raining. It's overcast at 200 feet. Sky is obscured. And TCU reported towering cumulus temperature 7, dew point 6, QNH 00. And REDZ, recent drizzle. Is a recent drizzle relevant when it's currently raining? Oh, and I forgot to say the visibility was 2,300 meters in rain. So, maybe it will be a 04 departure. 105. Or is it preferential to take that tailwind? Anyway, 13 HPA is quite a bit. That makes about 500 foot difference, as you can see here. So Stansted is 348, there's 700. Quite a difference, and that would of course affect the nav profile with a difference of that big. I say it was 348. About there, isn't it? 2954. So let's get the aeroplane loaded. Preparation for our flight. We have 165 passengers today. 4 packs with 8. Will the airplane move a little bit there? 24%. It's fine. And fuel wise, I have got another 30-minute additional reserve. The weather isn't as bad in Dublin as it is here. 6, 8, 9. So we'll just call that 6.9.
Ground flight deck hose is connected and starting refueling.
Happy days. I said nobody is on. Let's have a look at trusty flight radar, shall we? That's interesting. 22 is in use, so I guess it is the preferred runway. I assume, having a look, that's because any arrivals coming in at Bishop Stortford, departures go round them. It is. I don't know. I do find that a little bit odd. Anyway, somebody's taxiing. LELDO Europe is taxiing from Bravo to the hold where we're going to be going, so that's exactly what we'll do as well. just interesting. There's no preferential runway mentioned. And of course with VATSIM, easily see it turning into chaos. There's no arrivals for the time being. That are going to affect us. Dublin is still online. So let's jump into the FMC. Both sides, Winglet 26K, nav data's correct, expires this week, Eric Thursday. Sierra Sierra. Did we say 22 left? Yes, position. So Echo India Delta Ski. And I am just going to use the company route function. So UTAVA X75 to BUZAD Tango Trent 8 LELDO Mike on by BAGSO.
Ground to flight deck, fuel is all loaded up and you are good to go.
And it'll always be a BAGSO. To Lima for the point merge. Expect the ILS for 28. Pop that in. I'm also going to put in our departure. Tava 1 Romeo, checked. And what have we got? Until the IRS aligns, have no distance, we have fuel. So we've asked for 6.9 and that's what we've got. So departure wise, 3 DME off of the ILS. If we just have a look at the map. Oh, there's around. You can see that that's going to give us an issue because of the wind. I don't know about the flows here. Anyway, we're probably going to pick this one up as we depart. So we may actually have to use the crossing radial because the DME should be incorrect. The DME should be set to the threshold, so we're going 3.1 DM threshold. The MSAs definitely need to set those to date. And they're in 4 sectors, 21 down to 22. 21 is the highest, which we can actually see on the charts. There you go. See, there's MSAs. There's the departure, so popping that in a and you can see 223 Charlie for 3 miles. Above, intercept at 8, 3000 above, yes, 4000, Bravo, 1000, Tava. So, happy with those. Now what I will do is pick these just before I'm going to plan 5 because we can just change that 10 as always, and then the MSAs in Dublin. I think they're always off the Dublin VOR, so let's put those in now while I think about it. So, 1625.05 for the ILS, 6, 25 set. So, as I think the DME's going to work. Right, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I am going to have 157 set as a radial here. That's the turn point. And what we can do is we can very quickly switch. Nav1. I've got ISX at the moment. Tuned, identified, that's fine. So we'll see how we get on. That point is correct, but of course this is just in case we lose the FMC because it was quite a busy departure. 350 is straight ahead and then the first turn. And then outbound it's 263 on that side. We switched over. So that's easy enough, and we've got the ILS tuned. If we need to come back, start boarding the packs. Parking right off. That's effectively the departure plan. We've got the arrival put in as well. Do that quick gross error check on the distances. 328. That's exactly the air distance I have got. So that's good. So 58.60 fuel weight. We've got our fuel. We've got a 65.5 gross weight. We're not going to use a huge amount of fuel, probably 100 kilos. And it might be a little bit less, so I'm going to leave that as full for takeoff planning. The runway probably won't be listed as wet. So the reserves today, 2682, round up to 2.7, round up again to 2.8. I say that just gives you an extra couple of minutes. Think about it. Cost index of 6, and our cruise is 100. The top of climb wind today 202 at 21, and the ISO deviation is, you know, steep descent after 816. Is it? I think it is. It usually works out quite well. You do have to get the speed back though. So that's 816 to lap mode because that's max 230, max 180. So we'd probably we'll fly that at clean instead of at 230. Bearing in mind that once you get to lap mode, I'll show you on the charts, the descent starts. So you do really want to be flat 5 at that point. So leaving the point margin of 15 miles, VS, we should say should. Just about be able to manage it. So lap mode at 3, yeah, max at 2.5. See 230 below at 80. But we'll probably go direct if there's no traffic. Care direct lap mode, cutting out all the additional point merge stuff. Don't mind. I'm gonna set for 9 Dublin on arrival. If we do have to come back to Stansted, I suppose we would think about if we pop out at 200, still cat 1, if not, problem. So check flight radar. It looks to me like they are big. Yeah, they're still using 2-2. Couple of jets just left. So we're going to take the full runway. Let's have a look at our performance. So I'm going to call it 65. Bang on. Okay, no, the runway is reported. Well, is it reported as wet, or is this just being assumed? Okay. Because it can be raining and you can have a dry runway. Runway 22 full, 7 degrees. That's a 26 toga because of the tailwind, I think, and the wet runway. So, 26. Oh, that's giving us flap 1. Which may well be optimum, but with a wet runway and potential for aquaplaning. Speed back a little bit. So I calculated that. Still 26k toga, 1970. We're going to use 2/3 of the runway, maybe a bit less. 7.5 on the trim I can set. And I've got 136, 5, 139, and 147. So thrust reduction, I think 800. Acceleration, probably not going to take at 3. We're probably not going to take at 1500. You don't really want to go screaming around a turn. So that might play a little better. 7 forecast, I can put that in now. Yeah, it's only at 300, so we can't do 3-1. The QNH at Dublin 996. We'll have to update that, make sure that's correct. Why is that wrong? /996. ISA, deviation QNH. Irritating. So, descent 200.14. 215.3. 100.202.12. Saves a little bit of drama. Now the transition altitude in Dublin. Have a look on the chart. Is 5,000 at 996. That gives us 0.65. Trusty cheat sheet. So there's the takeoff. I've already checked the legs. And as I said, that was 1600, I think I said that. Comes from the calculator. No, 1800. Shut my mouth. So, I've accelerated any time before then. Anyway. So, happy days. Get busy. Still no ATC, so maybe a little bit of a bun fight. We've got 5 minutes to go, so I'm going to start the APU. I am going to put the pump on for it. So we can start thinking again. Was shut. Sun has come out. So with another aircraft there, as well push this way so they can
Ground
push
to
out as
cockpit.
well.
Plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you're ready.
And I'm going to keep an eye on flight radar. Still using runway 22. One 1005. It's fine. And if we have to have a fight about it, just wait for the clouds to do their thing. So we've had more than a minute. Start taking power off the APU. Gonna leave that set to remind us that we've not been cleared and to check ATC before we go.
It's also an indication for you to actually make sure that your seatbelt is securely fastened and ready for departure.
So flight director can come on master my side. Looking pretty grotty, isn't it? So 2 company there. Alaska. Weird. DMB. Never seen that before. So let's get
Ground to cockpit. Tow is driving up.
taxi man on the way. And there we go. There's 3 minutes. Lead caution. You. And we're getting ready to start. One thing I didn't do was I'm going to need anti-ice on for takeoff because it is 7 degrees, raining. It'll only be engine anti-ice. Has
Okay,
changed
all
nothing.
doors and hatches are closed. Ready to connect.
Apart from a couple of meters on the takeoff ramp, takeoff distance required. There's pumps on. Oh, Stansted ground is online. Gonna delay us a bit. That's the ground. Good afternoon, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. Go connected and bypass pin inserted. Release parking brake.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray 737 800 stand 22 left. Request departure cruise to Dublin, please, sir.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray. Roger. You are cleared to Dublin via the UTAVA 1 Romeo departure runway 22 squawk 7246.
To Dublin, UTAVA 1 Romeo, runway 22, squawk 7246, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, is that correct?
Good. So, we are now effectively good to go. We have been cleared, it's still the same runway, nothing's changed. Rhino 7 Delta X-ray stand. Okay, well, sorry about that, friend. I don't know if this streamer's come back on yet.
Stats and ground, Bravo 1, good evening, radio check.
Okay.
Number 119, Stats and ground, good afternoon, feasibility is 555. 555, Bravo 1.
So sorry about that, my internet managed to drop out. Static ground, hello again, apologies, Rhino 7 Delta X-ray, we were disconnected. Still on stand, 22 left request, push and start.
Rhino 7 Delta X-ray, no problem, stand 22, prison start is approved.
Stand 22, push and start, approved, Rhino 7 Delta X-ray. So nothing's changed apart from being sat here and disconnecting. Let me get the overlay to work again. There we go. So, sorry about that. Ooh, the weather's looking even worse. It's great.
Security costs, and if you're still using a phone, we would appreciate if you slowly make sure to switch them. You will be taking a fantastic care of you on a short journey. Here's what meant before the departure. Would appreciate your full attention as the safety is paramount here. Thank you.
Stats and ground, Bravo 1 on gateway 31, information Lima, VNH 1000. We are request flight to Praha. Amber 119, Roger, just report aircraft type for me, please. Flight over,
Starting pushback, and you may start engines.
Amber 119, Roger, you are cleared to Prague via the Clacton 1 Echo departure, runway 22, squawk 4640. We are cleared to Prague, via Cat 2 1.
I've got this to worry about as well, which is not great.
Right, F45 Yankee Tango, let's push start and 50 right. Right, F45 Yankee Tango, Roger, stand 50 right, push and start is approved. Push and approved, stand 50 right, right, F45 Yankee Tango.
So we can start engine number 2.
Stetson Gold, Bravo 1, we are clear to Praga, clean M1, Echo departure, squawk 4640, QNH 1000, Amber 119. Amber 119 over, stand correct.
Is the fuel going on?
Operation complete. Set parking brake.
Brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Amber 119, request start and pushback. Amber 119, Roger, stand by. Stand by, Amber 119.
So if you have just joined, apologies for that hiccup. Oh, and there you go, I wasn't watching the fuel.
Tow is disconnected as bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal on the left. We'll see you next time and have a safe flight.
There we go. 2 stable, 2, 4, 6 and 3. Hopefully we won't end up offline again. Go, there's our man with the pin. CPU's still taking a hammering. At least go through this. Engine anti-ice comes on. Do that, the reverse C. Protect the APU, etc. Seen the pin. So we can take flap 5. If you're watching, do say hi. There's the flap set. Flight controls, full forward, full aft, full right rudder. Trim set. Mid switches set. Start switches. Fuel even. Recalls checked. And before taxi checklist. Generators on. No lights. APU off. Start switches continuous. Probe heat on. Anti-ice wing on. Might give sorry, engine is on. I might give wing a blast before we go. Air conditioning packs auto bleeds on. Isolation valve auto. 5 required. 5 set. Green light. Stab trim 475. 475 set. Start levers 2 idle D10. Flight controls checked. We are therefore ready to taxi. We're on 7 Delta X-ray. Request taxi.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray Roger, taxi on point to Romeo 3, runway 22 via link Bravo, Hotel and Romeo.
Holding point Romeo 3, runway 22 via Bravo, Hotel and 7 Delta X-ray. So, have been cleared. Oh, clear to the left, clear to the right. There was no turbo for us to hit brakes off. Configs checked. And off we go. A little bit late after the internet hiccup.
Ryanair 45 Yankee Tango, request taxi. Ryanair 45 Yankee Tango, Roger.
It's going to go to Sierra.
Sierra 3, runway 22 via link Charlie, Hotel and Sierra.
So it's a Unicorn for departure.
Taxi Old Sierra, via Hotel Charlie and Sierra, for Ryanair 45 Yankee Tango.
Arm LNAV for departure. The ice blast that will trip off if we do forget to leave it. If we do leave it on, if we forget to turn it off. Go to full power. That should trip off. Who's that landing? Is the weather 127, 25? I'm not going to play the ATIS. 1,100 meters. The yard. 1,500 meters. Go straight here and then turn right.
Good afternoon, this is Ryanair 40 Delta, phone 737-800 on stand 44 Lima. We have information Lima and requesting clearance is filed to Lanzarote.
Lanzarote.
Ryanair 4 Zulu Delta, another ground, good afternoon. You are cleared to Lanzarote via the Nugbo 1 going with departure.
So Romeo 3 gave us, which is the Cat 2 hold. Oh, Cat 2-3.
We're clear via the Nugbo 1 Romeo departure on runway 22.
So 5-5, 147, 1, 5. Checked, we've not been cleared for takeoff. He will hand us over once we get there.
Amber 119er. Amber 119er, ready for taxi, first starter, pushback. Amber 119er, Roger, stand 3-1, push and start is approved. Push and start approved, Amber 119er. Number 119er, can you squawk 4640 for me, please? 4640, Amber 119er.
There's Romeo on the left. traffic over there to the left.
Ryanair 4 Zulu Delta, request pushback and start. Ryanair 4 Zulu Delta, standby.
Okay, the cabin is secured. Have a good flight.
Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, contact London on standby.
No, I didn't see him online. It literally just came online. Only London South though, so it probably won't be for us. Oh no, it is Terminal South.
7 Delta X-ray, disregard. Unfortunately, no further ATC available. Monitor Unicom 122.8. Bye bye.
Unicom 122.8, thanks very much for the service. Hope you had a good Christmas and Happy New Year. See ya. London South Delta X-ray.
See ya.
Cool. Well, I'm going to tune him just in case. 1, 2, because I'm pretty sure he does. LTC, oh no, LTC South, yeah that isn't for us. Okay, that's fine. So, it's going to be 13 something, 6.8, put that on, trip that off, cabin is secured, and we're going to do that to remind ourselves to taxi, check, come on, lights, camera, action. I'm just going to check the VATSIM, that's easier. Stands to traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, lining up and taking off runway 22, Lava 1 on Romeo Archer. Stands to traffic. Rigs off. Check. Clear both sides.
Send traffic, Ryanair 45 Yankee here, lining up behind the departing company traffic in front.
1320 for departure. See, this is much better without the pointy uppy things. I think I just need to add a little bit of tarmac over there
Approaching 2, 2.
to get those recessed so it doesn't look quite so odd. So we've got a full power takeoff. Really therefore have to worry too much about the length of the lineup. Oh, that's a bit grim. Should have changed that, shouldn't I?
On runway 2,
Anyway,
2.
there's 40%. Go power, ogre, time 1320. And look at that. This is probably the worst weather we've taken off in for a long time. Forward pressure on the controls. Keeping the airplane straight with rudder, quite a lot used initially. 80 knots. Check, speed checks and release the forward pressure. Keep your hand on the throttle until V1.
V1, rotate. Positive read.
Gear up. Oh, now it's 11 degrees? I don't think so. Straight into cloud. On to the flight director.
400.
That's the traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray airborne. Just help him out behind us. This is a little bit funky. Transition between the two. I don't know when the clouds are around. Should certainly just be grey today.
Send traffic, Ryanair 45 Yankee here, taking off runway 22.
So I'm going to take speed to the up. just going by Clacton. Passing the carrot, flap 1. Passing flap 1, flap up, we do not want to accelerate around this turn.
1,000 to go.
And I'm going to set 1,000. Set to 263 as we punch through the clouds. Brake off. Gear up and off. Start switches. Anti-ice on. Having secured for a moment. Cabin is pressurizing. Checked. There we go. Leveling off at 4. Set 250. And then I'll check the radar in a minute. It's 263, so what's going on there? Or just a really bad turn with those two fixed points. I don't think we need to be too aggressive with the heading. On LNAV, we're close enough. So we've got another turn coming up. See if the airplane do heading selected 263. Let's see if we can't make this a little bit better. We don't have to start the turn at this point. That's the height restriction. So if I set 263, select, if we can't intercept. Not too bad. So I'm going to set 300. Now 3 degrees of drift. So we'll keep that coming round. A little bit squiffy, and there appears to be no one. We might get this way a bit. See. So let's go vertical speed initially. Light level. Now I've already hit outer to vent to get rid of that restriction. Okay, set once. Camera around twice. 3 times at VNAV in a moment. And you'll see as the N1 starts to come up towards climb thrust, I can hit VNAV. Will sort itself out. Back to nav. far off course there. And we will be punching out of these in a moment. The arrival QH was 6. Anti-ice can come off. Approaching 10, so we're going to scream around that turn. BUZAD. Luton here. Cranfield here. And when we went into Luton, it's usually a downwind point. Turn it to go in 708, whichever one it is. The airplane should accelerate at 10. It does. Lights can come off. Cabin is pressurizing. Most up to 4, cabins at 2. Flying externally. It's checked once. 30,000 twice, 3 times. We're on our way. So we'll have a look at the charts for Dublin. That's me just setting the missed approach. The weather in a little while as well. BAGSO below flight level 100. Long way away at the moment. There you go, that traffic's crossed ahead of us. And we're actually heading towards Daventry. So, why are we going to the nav? LNAV even. As always, if you are watching, please say hi. On in chat, please sub, and then you're free to chat in chat. It's just my way of bribing you to subscribe. Hopefully Dublin hasn't gone offline for lunch. Nope, somebody's still online. 228. The ATIS 12452 can't use the charts. 452. So we can at least tune the voice ATIS. Tower is 118. 6, so I'm going to get that tuned. And in reality, oh no, Tower is 1186, so you can get off the charts. ATIS is 12453 though, so as you can see, VATSIM hasn't fully transitioned to frequencies, which is a bit of a shame, but hey, that's simulator limitations for old stuff. A lot to say now, it's relatively easy. Up over Manchester we go. Manchester is our alternate, and then out over the sea in the point merge into Dublin, which depending on traffic we will probably cut quite short, which is the benefit of said point merge, and might load that chart up. That was the departure we just did. So there's the point merge. We're coming in via BAGSO. Takes us here, here, and then this is effectively a Dme Arc. All those points are 15 miles. I know the references aren't based on that mode because that's not the point, but they are 15 DME from the mode. So any of these you should be able to break off and be in the same position to get to that mode. And it doesn't affect VNAV either. So it's a big long level segment. This is 6.4. That looks slightly askew. Could just be my eyes. Cabin's at 3.5, climbing steady. Happily on our way. Let's see if we can hear.
5 knot variable between 160 and 230 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers clouds. View at 1,500 feet. View at cumulonimbus 2,000 feet. Scattered 2,200 feet. Temperature 10. 2.7 QNH 996. Nosing. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Victor. This is IVE information, Victor. At time 1300 Zulu. Expect ILS approach runway 28 left and use runway 28 left and use. Transition level 70. Wind 200 degrees 5 knot variable between 160 and 230 degrees. Visibility 10 kilometers clouds. View at 1,500 feet. View at cumulonimbus 2,000 feet. Scattered 2,200 feet. Temperature 10. 2.7 QNH 996. Nosing. Advise on initial contact. You have information.
Happy days, that hurt my ears a bit. That's static. So, the standard ILS should do us. Minimums for that are 402. It's 278. .098 off the Dublin VOR. 11135. That checked. No other nav aids needed. There is actually a marker at Dublin. At least it's listed on the charts. What a relic. There's a very old tech. So let's just check those legs. BAGSO was less than 10. There it is. And then you can see all of these on the point merge, max 230. But what we'll do is, if we're a little bit quick at Kerav, we're at 230, it might be a little bit of a struggle to get down to 3. We do need to be at 3, because then it's effectively all the way on glide slope, so we do need to have slowed down before then. I think that is 11 DME, so the fact that it's on the GS as well does land by that point. So if we're a little bit quick, ideally I want to be at the up speed and taking flap 1 as we start that descent round, or at least clean is really the quickest depending on traffic. And if we need a little bit of time to slow down, we'll just go to the next waypoint before we turn in, and if there's traffic we can do the exact same thing, just to try and get that 4 or 5 mile spacing between us. But as you can see, those are all there at Mert 3. Sev, the runway. Happy days. And then we just need to do the performance. For it, we've already got the weather for that. So, a couple of things. It's going to be 28 left lane for flat 30. The wind may change, but probably not by much. weight in a little bit later, but just by doing that, while you've got a bit of free time in the climb, saves you a bit of time later on. See, there's at least a couple of people watching, so please say hi. See that we are 20-30 kilos lighter on the left hand side, just because the duration we had the APU running there while I was turning off the router. Hang on again.
Thousand to go.
Halo, thanks for joining. Good afternoon, I hope you're all well. If you've got any questions, get them in now while we're coming up to top of climb. So we've got some traffic behind and in front. It's getting busy. Where's this guy going? He's well off an airway. A bit of mad free route stuff, huh? So, it does look like he's going direct to Trent, doesn't it? As appears to be everyone else. Let's see if they all end up doing some crazy stuff. Right, where are you going? The easy behind us. They're on the way to the SWR, that's Zurich to JFK. No idea where he's going. Tango 10, direct. Mesta 10, so no idea. And so Zulu Golf, that's from Innsbruck, LOWS, Innsbruck to Dublin. He's going the same way as us. Luckily, I think ever so slightly overtaking. He is at 3.8, so maybe he's the one we're picking up, because the other one is 3.15. Yeah, this could be interesting. So separation done by ATC, but there's not going to be anyone to do that. He is higher than us. You'd like to think he would be going faster than us. His ground speed is 412. Ours is 465, so this route is normally at 360. We're at 300 today to take advantage of the winds, I assume. Because if I look at the winds over Trent on the OFP, 300 is 207 at 25, far off, and at 340 it's down to 23, so it's ever so slightly less. Like I've said before, I'm sure Simmering makes it count. Our reserves are 2.8, we've got loads of fuel. We're obviously overtaking him. If he uses his cost index correctly, then yes, he's in a 738 as well. Then he'll be reducing speed in the descent as well. We're going to be ahead. He's higher up, so we are going to be descending in and getting in first. We could do a bit of a dirty dive as well. I wonder what arrival he's got planned. I think it's just BAGSO. Let's see. So that's what we're going to fly. It's a pretty simple arrival, and we're just going to get the aeroplane slowed down, direct lap mode at any of these points when we're happy, based on traffic, based on speed, into lap mode. And as you can see, lap mode here on the profile is at 3. It's pretty much on the glide. It's a little bit, you don't have to do that platform. I wouldn't really want to be above 3 there. I think it's ever so slightly under the glide, but you really do need to have had the speed back. And if if any of the VATSIM for Ireland are online, they usually get you not bad, but the speeds are usually a little bit fast for the 7.3. There is a slight headwind, so you probably could fly the glide down to max F to flat 1, but it's a bit it's a bit difficult. It can quite easily and quite quickly go wrong. If there's no ATC to use the arrivals from SimBrief, you can. One that's filed is not normally the point merge, so SimBrief for me did not pick this one. It picked, I think, the BAGSO 1 or 2 X-ray, which effectively just takes you straight there. It doesn't have a point, and that's fine because that's probably what we're going to fly anyway. The issue comes is that when you're online, you've got to worry about other people as well, and if there's no ATC, it's usually more difficult. So this enables you to space yourself more effectively rather than vectoring yourself all over the place to try and get behind somebody. And the other benefit is that ATC would prefer this one, and they'll give you this one routinely for the same reason. So I think SimBrief should default to these point merges, and they're a lot better than the downwind ones. I don't know if you've seen on our German flights, they love a long RNAV downwind, lots of power above, and to be honest, they're not as the point merge I prefer. It's a lot easier to figure out what you want, but hey, that's their choice, and it's probably how their Esperance is structured as well. This is going to plan for the full arrival, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Kerav direct lap mode. There's Kerav. We want to take the lap mode to Kerav. That changes, and that gives us the highest possible figure that we're going to experience, because that's the direct one for landing, which means it's minus 0.7 off our current weight. I'm going to erase that, but we're going to plan for that higher landing. So we're going to plan for 63. I'm going to pop 63 in here. Initially do flap 30, no credit for anything else. As you can see, oh no, not much of a headwind have we? It's 200, it's 80 degrees off. Let's check, double check the weather, make sure we've got the latest one. Victor, it still hasn't changed. And to be honest, we then have a look. You can look at the Aerodrome Chart, and you can, it's to scale, so you can try and measure that. What I'm going to use is the takeoff from there to there. So obviously we've got some float, but that's going to give us the total length. And if we take Sierra 5 and Sierra 6 on the takeoff chart, you can see 2156, 1953. Take auto brake 2, and we aim for Sierra 6. If we aim for Sierra 5, auto brake 3, we will come to a stop unless we go manual braking 4. So the intersections are somewhere here. We want to carry through some momentum. And so what I will do is I'll take auto brake 2, which would probably bring us out to a stop somewhere along here. And knowing that once we get down here and we're in control, it's manual braking to increase the rate of deceleration, aiming for Sierra 5. If you can't quite make Sierra 5, we'll aim for 6. In reality, there's a lot of closures and stuff around here. Zulu is shut, Alpha is also shut. I'm not even sure you can get across here, in which case it's a bit chaotic. But anyway, that's how we work that out. 151, take that. Auto brake 2, minimums are set. Looking at the approach chart, got this wonderful tool at the top that will help you brief. 11135, so we can check both of those. Set, in reality it's set both. 278, set both on each side, but I've got a missed set, which is 1149098 for my own benefit. Glide slope check at max EV 2.5, and then 402 set. Missed is straight into 3. Once you get to Gannet, turn and climb to 5, and at that point, on our own. So we need to be above 100 BAGSO. See it all out there, and I've done the fixed rings. I can change that fixed ring in Dublin to 4 miles because we're EMC. Oh, hang on, will we? Let's leave it at 5 and see how we go. We are VMC, we can sort it out. If not, we've got an advanced one of it. So navigator all set, QNH is set in preparation. We need to get a when we're ready descent, so I'm going to set 10. And that's it. Recall check, that's us. Effectively good. I suppose I should have set bank angle 10. We're at 300. Doesn't really matter. So yeah, that was a long way of saying, well, that was, I rolled off your question, Halo. It's a sort of semi-approach briefing. Does look like there's traffic ahead of us. Whether or not they're going into Dublin. See, we're ahead of this guy, it should work out, unless he does something crazy. And I have actually physically printed a chart of Dublin, scribbled over the NOTAMs, which were, like I mentioned, taxiway Alpha is shut, Zulu is shut, 1634 is shut, 4th of 6 November is shut as well. Of course, that doesn't necessarily matter in the VATSIM world, it's the controller wants to do realistically. But it's just good practice for real world flying. We're currently in the A340 from Heathrow to Istanbul. Oh, I mean that's a relatively long old slog going in. I assume that's the A340 from to FS now. I don't know. Still not really into the big stuff. And I'm going to try a bit of bus driving. But that would just be a big uphill struggle. A big steep learning curve, which I'm not afraid of. And you've got V1 Sim, who is clearly a real world skipper and knows his stuff with that as a good training aid. However, the only issue I have is cost really of TOLIS and what's the other one, jar design, which one's better, etc. They're a lot of cap. Plus it would probably mean upgrading, well not upgrading some hardware but at least in PCA, although they describe as junky. Okay, TOLIS A340. I know V1 Sim has an an Airbus grid for WARTHOG, and I obviously have WARTHOG, so that could be a potential purchase in the future one day. But it's just, you know, very expensive compared to all the fun you get with Zibo. Yeah, I'm not up to producers apart from who gave me the Phenom. They didn't give me, I mean I bought it. Aerobask. Quite good. Haven't flown that for a while and we'll probably get back into that maybe but Evo is fine and fun. Virtual Ryanair have got some really good resources. I'll always sing their praises. If you want to up your sim game, well, that was the other thing that's changing the transition. I have a little bit wrong. The 996 should be 6.5 flight level. Minimum IFR cruising is 7, so they might have got that wrong. It's still information vector, so I'm just checking on VATSIM now. Pop into the descent in a moment. Hello. A little bit of oh no, we are. Yes, we are. Got some busy airways here. Now, this is where we might come across a bit straight that way. A bit lower anyway, we've got 8,000 foot ahead and we are descending. retard on the FMA and arm. Remember, keep your eyes on these. You know, it's a bit like 400 feet when I say LNAV, I'm checking the roll mode, not looking at the MCP. CMD. VNAV path. Down we go. So quick check. Cabin is descending. Yeah, they're really good. So like I say, I've got a headset on, so I don't always hear it. But yeah, it's phenomenal. That was who did the F mod? Audiobird XP, who then has taken a step back, focus on his real world life, I guess. But you know, he did a lot of work with that, can't we? And to have it all for free, you know, it really is pretty spectacular, if you ask me. We're a little bit quick, but as I've said, I don't mind if we're a little bit high energy, because we've got that long flat section for the point merge, so we can lose a lot of energy. A steep turn, if we need to. So yeah, really not worried about that at all. And it should keep us ahead and give us some spacing. So, is he going? Is he coming this way? It is very useful, the X-plane map. I'm going to leave disable down when ILS is unchecked. Because the wind is variable and it could swing round, I'll leave that unchecked so that we don't end up with the localizer switching and swinging. Dublin Tower's still online. Probably give him a call as we approach lap mode. A bit earlier in reality, but need somebody to speak to. Zibo is pretty good. What am I saying? Pretty good. Zibo's fantastic. Sent him a very small token donation earlier today, and Snowpass as well runs the Zibo updater. Give them a few euros to continue their good work. But yeah, the dedication of everyone that's involved, fantastic, for want of a better word. So we'd probably be given a 280 or above traffic behind us to space us. And you can see that the aeroplane is happily doing that. Now it's whiskey. Still 28 left. Still the same. 210 at 7. That's not going to make much difference to. It's going to make no difference to our V speeds. 702, 10k, 50. UCB broken 22. That's the same. Temperature is now 9. 7. QNH is still 996. But of course we're flight level all the way round. And anyone coming in from the south, the opposite direction. On the screen. Anyone coming in from the south, separated by 1,000 feet, because all of those arrivals that come round about here, they all at level 70. And I think they might be a little bit closer in. Could be wrong though. Geo-referenced is cool, but it's a bit of a cheat. Anyway, passing 2. Diffs at 6, Kenner's at 4. Coming down steadily. Sat down. And don't forget, it is even possible when it's relatively quiet to be just given direct land mode. And like I say, for the reasons of other traffic, I'm going to fly the full arrival, even though we could probably do a dirty dive and sneak in. These guys are all coming out. That one might be on its way in. Got him following us, so I'll at least announce once I get to BAGSO. Now it says 100 below, we're going to be at 100, as you can see there. I'm going to let VNAV do its thing. I'll tell him what arrival we're on. And in reality, lower aircraft have priority when coming to, so you should fit around them. Still just about made up 280. So if you were given maintain 280 or greater, and speed into that. And keep shooting VNAV. Hello. Ooh, that feels a bit. Oh, the GPU didn't like that, did it? Interesting. What we can do is at least go to high performance if that happens. This gets a little bit too busy. And it doesn't really make it more horrific, does it? And the fact that you can do that nice and quick and easy, keep everything happy, is a bit of a no-brainer to me. That's the first time I've seen players change and introduce that much of a GPU issue. But at least we've got a way to very quickly and easily manage it. You can see that it's like the aliasing is the issue. That's as the quality reduces, but hey ho, until I get myself 3080, I very much doubt I'm going to be able to manage to turn anything up. Although even that's a ridiculously priced card. So we are coming down to 100. So I'm going to take speed into and off. Aeroplane. Slow itself down a wee bit if it can. 275 is the first one on BAGSO. Drag required, that's because we are that little bit quick. So let's give the aeroplane what it wants. Appears to have helped. The aeroplane's got a decel as well. Yeah, 267. We're on path, speed brake stowed. Airplane roll the speed back. Oh, he's holes behind us now. 11, 15, he's doing 320, we're doing about the same. So we've got a few miles of separation at least. Alpha to go, so we're going to keep going down to 8. Let's check the airplane should start slowing down. Pop the lights on. Pop those on and leave them on because we're going to be out. The anti-ice on because I'm going to clip those clouds. I wouldn't expect to see less than 500, but the airplane is almost leveling off to slow down. Prioritise that restriction. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, overhead BAGSO, flight level 100, BAGSO 1 Lima arrival, Dublin traffic. Oh, tower's gone offline, so keep us on Ecom. There you go, aeroplane has slowed. There's Kerav. Have a look at the old map. Nobody else is coming in, so we probably are going to go direct Kerav to BAGSO. So you can see that anyone climbing out should already be higher than us, so it slots us in nicely. Are we not descending aeroplane? There's max 230 at Kerav. Says we're below path. And now the airplane's accelerating, so I'm going to have speed brake fight against it. Odd. I could have intervened there. Which actually might have been a good idea. That's a little bit of a mess. And now it's going to be a bit of a dirty dive, and now we're quick. So yeah, that wasn't ideal. Just follow this round until we get settled. Like I said, we could have gone direct to Kerav and Lammo. I think we're going to be quick. So, I am, set vertical speed. Our up speed back. Once we get to the up speed, which looks, as you can see, I've moderated that a bit. Once we settle back down, probably after Kogax, head in. So I'm going to set 3. Let's do legs. 146151. Yes, no, that's going to work. See, the decel there is quite late. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, overhead Kogax, flight level 80, descending 3,000 feet, that low. Dublin traffic. I don't know if the speed brake was there, I think it may well have been. I thought I had stowed it, but I had not. So, let's set 500. 996, because we're already a little bit low. Maybe a little bit slow. Just going to check that. Might have changed too much. 996. Have to approach. And we're at 7. 3. There. Good enough. And we're on the glide. Here we go. Bit off. Correcting, yes. And as you can see, I'm needing to hit level change. Use a bit of speed brake to get us down. 1,000 feet per minute won't do it. Let's do exactly that. So we need at least 14, 1500, let's try. And we do need to decel as well. This is on. Cabin secure. Straight in, eh? So, yeah, I probably wouldn't have done that. So you can see the speed is getting away from us. There's our decel point. Got speed brake out. Keep the banana on lap mode. It is now struggling to come back. Delta Whiskey 278 set. It's coming back very slowly. We can take flap 1 to increase the drag. There you go, it is coming back. There's no need to panic. I've got speed brake out. So, I'm going to take flap 1 now. We're within 10 knots. Match speed.
Dublin traffic, Ryanair 3 Zulu Golf is 15 miles from Lapmo for ILS 2SF, so Dublin.
Yeah, that's starting to bring back. There was the initial balloon as flap was deployed. Getting the benefit of that flap, so probably earlier than you thought. So I'm going to set 2.5 for MaxEv. Stow the speed brakes. So in fairness, yeah, you probably could get that low below 3. That's just to ensure that you intercept from below. Probably going to do that anyway. Up the traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray overhead lap mode. 500 ILS 22.
1,000 to go.
There you go. This is actually not too bad. Very compliant with ATC. The frame rate's still doing good. The speed is coming back. Leaving it for the moment in LNAV. Can't see the runway. Good. Bring that back for glide slope intercept. Arming, not deploying the speed brakes. Flap 5. It usually 160 until 4. Might be a bit of a struggle. So localizer capture, glide slope armed. Probably bring this back to 500 now to encourage the speed back as well, so we don't off. So we can capture within 1 dot. We may briefly level off. That was a shame. Airplane put the speed on.
2,500.
So MaxEv 25, glide slope checked. Glide slope capture, we've got flap 5. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray, established ILS 227 miles from Dublin traffic. Oh, there any commands? That's not bad, he's done something. On the ground. For that. So straight ahead to 3 is the mist. Take the anti-ice off now because we're not going to cloud. There's our 5 mile ring, but we can use 4 because we're VMC. Well, at least approaching 4 miles. So landing checklist of flaps. Start switch is continuous, speed brakes armed, the brake is set. Gear down 3 green, holding on landing flap checked. Really secure, lights are on. Is there anybody there who causes us any grief? Not that I can see. So self-cleared to land.
Flaps.
Flap 25.
Flaps.
Turned XRAS off as an option for that.
1,000.
By 1. We've got loads of fuel. And we only need to be flap. Speed stable at
Approaching
500.
28 left.
Flap 30, the landing flap is set. The wind is variable, so it's going to appear like turbulence, even isn't. So I'm relatively happy to let the speed just fluctuate rather than chase it. See the airplanes chasing that pitch. We're a little bit quick, but like I say, I'm not going to chase the speed.
Public traffic, runway 3 to the Gulf, ILS 2 left, 10 miles, Dublin.
Minimums.
Continue.
50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Got a little bit quick and a little bit of a gust as we hold the airplane off and touched out. Oh. No, that was a bit soft. According to that, but I think it probably wasn't. I'm going to keep the brake on. It float a bit. We're not going to make that.
80 knots.
There's 80. I'm going to go manual brake. Stow the reversers. And there we are, vacated at second speed. We are designed for, I think, 45. Get passenger comfort. We're going to slow. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray 1, runway 22 vacated.
28 left.
Yeah, my bad. He knew what I meant. So, onto the tiller. Flaps up. Speed brake up. So, off. Gas wasn't on. Probes come off. 53-minute flight, it's not bad. Bring the airplane up. Told him we're vacated. The wrong runway, but he got the message. He can head off. I'm going to be able to see. Brake temperatures, as I'm reliably informed, they don't have it. These airframes at least.
Dublin traffic, Ryanair 3 to the Gulf, 3 mile final for 28 left, Dublin.
Did reset the trim. Do that. Cleanup done. This stressful bit. Looking interesting. Somebody's put those on the tarmac. You have to do those lines separately.
Dublin traffic, Ryanair 633, turning on final runway. Do something left.
Do something left. It's going to be one of those days for everyone, isn't it? So we're not going to do a single engine taxi in. I know the runway's not active. I'm going to start the APU though. And I think we'll go Whiskey 1. see anyone over there. Let's take stand 125 again.
Dublin traffic, Ryanair 3 to the Golf, forget it, 2 left, Dublin. Dublin traffic, Ryanair 63, 10 mile final, runway 28 left.
A little bit of power, keep us moving with some urgency. It's a lot to operate the aeroplanes, so get back as quick as possible. The traffic Ryanair 7 Delta X-ray crossing 1634 taxiing stand 5 Dublin. It's not an active runway, so I'm not going to put any lights or ting on.
Approaching 3-4.
In that way anyway. You can see there. It's okay. So we'll bring the speed back.
X-ray Hotel 558, Avro Vulcan approaching Dublin traffic with intention to full stop landing at runway 28 left, approximately 30 nautical miles out.
That's a fun jet to fly. So gradually, very gradual braking, just to slow us down on the apron to about 10 knots. He's already on.
Dublin traffic, Ryanair 63, 5 mile final, runway 28 left.
As you can see, 3 minutes there wouldn't have been much. Turning an engine off. Just going to go for whatever stand is over here. Exit lights off, brakes checked to get a speed down 6 knots, which is about walking pace. Otherwise you end up outrunning the marshallers. Driven into one of these baggage trucks.
Facility inbound, limit 2 X-ray departure, just leaving Kirov now, estimating on approach will be about 60 seconds.
Oh, that wasn't bad. These markings are that accurate. Do brakes on stand, it's 1420 an hour. 10 minutes give or take since we pushed. After the disaster that was my internet. So 2 blues. 1 red. Engine's dead. I'll just want the N2 to drop to below 20%. That means that the front fan should have started to slow down.
X-ray Hotel 558 on base, turning in for final on runway 28 left, Dublin.
It's off. APU's off. Ground power. Time to say goodbye to the customers. There we go. Welcome to Dublin. Everybody, there's another one landing. Are we going to see a Vulcan looking like an actual Vulcan? Somebody else taxiing in? A bit floaty. Although we can't talk. Pretty bad. Where's this Vulcan then?
X-ray Hotel 558, about to full stop land, runway 28 left, Dublin.
Not sure that is.
Dublin traffic runner 633, vacate the runway 28 left, the runway is clear.
Don't use that word, never use that word. So, we touched down
about 20
soft.
seconds from landing, runway 28 left, Dublin.
Minus 668. So I just got the so slightly wrong. Can't I file then? No, don't tell me I've gone offline again. If I have, I do apologise. Yeah, it wasn't bad, thanks Halo. It was a little bit floaty. We'll have a look at the replay. I just seem to be unable to file. Missed that. Don't know. I can't file it. Anyway, enhanced skyscapes, even on performance, is still looking pretty good.
Dublin traffic runner 2, Papa Zulu's 10 mile final 28 left, Dublin.
Interesting that it's not Etic complete. What's this clown doing?
Dublin traffic, Shamrock 212, pushing back on stand 406.
So it wasn't a Vulcan, that's a shame. Anyway, I am having issues here filing this. So I do apologise.
Dublin traffic runner 2, Papa Zulu, fully established 5 mile final 28 left, Dublin.
That was horrific. And the issue is, I don't know if I close it down, if I can do it. Definitely hasn't filed. Quite sure there's much I can do about that. Okay, what I'm probably going to do is just end the stream here, and what I might do is just record the replay of the landing, so you can see it. Though, got to disconnect. Just pressing the fire button and it's not working. Right, know, I can only force reconnect, I can't disconnect it. Okay, so I'm going to kill the stream. I'll add the replay of the landing so you can see it. As always, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hopefully, we'll be going somewhere in Scotland later tonight from Dublin. That's going to be a bit of a busy flight because it's such a short sector, although it could be busy, so expect some delays. Look forward to seeing you there. Look after yourselves. Stay safe. Till later or the next time. Bye for now.